Hi all, and welcome to this week's Parable Stories. Today we shall be looking at the parable of the narrow door, Luke chapter 13, verses 22 to 30. He went on his way through towns and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. And someone said to him, "Lord, will those who are saved be few?" And he said to them, "Strive to enter through the narrow door. For many, I tell you, will seek to enter and not be able. When once the master of the house has risen and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and to knock at the door, saying,
'Sir, open the door for us.'
'Lord, open the door to us.'
'I do not know you, nor where you come from.'
'We ate and drank with you, and you taught in our streets.' 'Open the door, please, open.'
Go.
We ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in our streets.
'I tell you, I do not know where you come from. Depart from me, all you workers of evil.'
In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, but you yourselves will be cast out. And people will come from east and west, and from north and south, and recline at the table in the kingdom of God. And behold, some are lost, who will be first, and some are first, who will be last." The story tells us that Jesus went teaching and journeying on his way to Jerusalem. And someone said to him, "Lord, will those that are saved be few?" He's asking how many people will be entering the gates of heaven. And Jesus tells him, "Strive to enter through the narrow door." When Jesus is telling us to strive, he's not saying continue living out your daily lives as you would, or pray and be faithful. He's telling you to strive, to do all you can to enter through the narrow door. Because many people can walk through the open gates, but very few can go through the narrow gates. People are going to come in the many, knocking at the doors, asking God to let them in. And God's going to turn them away and tell them he does not know where they come from. And they'll plead at the door and tell them that they were with him, they ate and drank with him, and he was in the streets when they were teaching. And he will still turn them away and tell them to be gone, those evildoers. I think this is a compelling story for us in life that really can motivate us to not go about our lives all willy-nilly, but go about our lives striving to enter through the narrow door, not taking this life.
Hi all. I feel the parable of the narrow door is a very hard-hitting story. It is a wake-up call to those of us who are not doing all we can to enter through the narrow door. In the parable, it is speaking of Jesus walking through the streets, telling his teachings while going about on his journey toward Jerusalem. And people are asking him, how many of those will go to heaven? And he's saying very few will enter through that narrow door. And so you should strive in all you can to enter. And when those people pass and come to that narrow door, they will knock and plead to enter and will be turned away. And God will tell them he does not know them. They'll continue to knock and plead. And God will say he does not know them, nor where they come from. And they should be gone, those evildoers. They'll tell them that they ate and drank with Jesus while he taught in their streets. In modern day versions, we can see this as people knowing about Christ, knowing about his teachings, and still choosing to neglect him. Then coming to heaven and wanting to gain entry, and God does not know them, nor their doings. And they will plead at the door and ask to gain entry. And God will say, "Begone, you evildoers." And we as people will be left gnashing of teeth, crawling, crying, begging for entry. To use as an example for our modern day viewers, imagine an exclusive club, one that people try to gain entry, but access into the club is no matter of money or knowings. It is a matter of what you have done throughout your life, the way you have lived your life. Have you strived to live your life for the Lord? Or have you gone about in your own understandings and of your own ways? Have you asserted your own autonomy? Then we will find ourselves begging to get into that club, knocking away at the club, and we will be turned away by the owner of the club. And when we continue to say, but we knew you in our lives, we've gone out with you before, we've celebrated, we've had dinners, and he will tell us he does not know us. We should be gone, for we are evildoers. And then we look in and we'll see the prophets of the kingdom, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and we ourselves will not gain entry. And those who are in last can be in first. We shall not know our outcome, and so we should strive with all we can to gain entry into the kingdom of God.